After a long break, we're back in action with a seaside stop in Numazu, just south of Mount Fuji. After a 15-minute walk, hard off and off-house Numazu was just across this small parking lot. And here we are. The usual hard-off sights and sounds, starting with gaming systems and games. Switch prices are dropping now that the Switch 2 is out. Phones and tablets in the next case. Retro and handheld gaming in this case. Heading down the PC parts aisle, we can see the junk section straight ahead. The first has audio, and sure enough, an MD portable. The Sharp MD MS100 is a chunky slot loader. It's working on the AC adapter, and if I didn't already have a few of these newer versions from Kenwood and Sharp, I might have considered it. No other MD players here. That's an interesting Sony CB radio. Let's check out the junk boomboxes. Quite a few here, but I see something at the bottom. Let's get it out for a closer look. This is a Sharp SD-FX20. The label is wrong. It's a great looking, stylish boombox. I love the look, the switches, and the fact that it works. It comes with a remote, and it's just about 30 bucks. Definitely not the factory remote, but I guess it's compatible if they bundled it. It's a real boombox that can run on batteries, but you'll need 10C batteries. Let's get that back where we found it. If I had unlimited space and wasn't just visiting this area, I might have taken that home. What else? There's a familiar shape, a Panasonic. These have the nice control knob, and the CD and MD actually work on this one, just not the cassette. Not bad for about 23 bucks. Here's another Sharp. This time it's the MD F350. Not as stylish as the FX20, and nothing works on it. Not a bad looking unit if you can find a working one. Just above it, we have a Victor boombox. MD works, but the CD doesn't, so that's not good for dubbing unless it's a simple fix like a lens cleaning. Moving on to the junk components and decks. Nice looking Denon DMD M33, but it doesn't play MDs. Below it, a Kenwood MD7 that doesn't play MDs either. Down here is a Sony MZD-SE700. I had one of these and they're nice. Unfortunately, the display is dim and it's having trouble reading discs. These are nice looking units, especially in this gold or champagne finish. Moving on to the junk compos. This Panasonic DVD unit can play MDs, but they couldn't get the CD or tape fully working. This nice Kenwood RD ES3 MD can't play CD nor MD. Looks good though. We know the Onkyos that look like this are Sharp clones. This MD slot is in the same spot as similar Sharps. I've had good luck with these, and this one has a working CD and MD for just about 23 bucks. Original speakers are back there too. Here's one of those dual MD Victors. I always assume they're not working since they seem to be quite fragile. And yep, no luck with MD. Moving on to the non-junk section, here's a nice Sony. This MXD-D2 is an older SP-only unit with CD and MD. This is a nice example, but that's a bit pricey. Ah, here's another working Sony MDS-JE700. This is just like the one I had. Looks great for just about 85 bucks. This one is in great shape and would be a great addition to a home setup. They will require a belt change at some point, but it's easy to get in there and work on them. I missed this old Bose unit earlier. It doesn't read consistently, which is too bad. Bose had a few decent looking small MD units like this. So Numazu was okay, but after getting back home, it was time to check out Off Tsukimino. This was a hard-off, off-house, hobby-off, all-in-one. Just a short flight of stairs. As usual, games and game systems are front and center. Let's look around and try to find that junk section. Here's an audio case, let's see.
This marks the 1042nd store of the Hard Off Group. We warmly invite you to visit us whenever you are in the area. We look forward to welcoming you.
There's a nice Panasonic SJ MJ55 in blue. That price is ridiculous though. This comes with a 3-month warranty, so it should be working, but that's still quite overpriced in my book. And there's the junk section. Let's check out this media case. Tons of cassettes. And some MDs, let's see. 1,000 for each new blank is a bit much. TDK Fine 5-pack is nice, but that's still a bit high. Though Sony's at 6,600 is more than I'd spend also. Check Mercari via your favorite proxy and you might see better pricing. Here's some junk phones and audio. And an MD unit down at the bottom. Not just any MD unit either, the Sony MZ-R5ST, a dockable unit with controls on the base. It's an older SP-only unit. The tester said no sound was heard, but it could be that they tried a disc recorded as LP2 or LP4. These are cool units, but the display is dead, and you have to watch out for internal battery leakage that can damage the board. Checking out the non-junk units, here's a nice Panasonic with 5 CD changer. At under 40 bucks with working CD changer and MD, I'd say it's worth it, even if it's missing the remote. Just above it, a Sharp MD F230 with 10-day warranty. This is a newer MDLP compatible one, and everything works for just about 18 bucks. Someone come grab this at Off Tsukimino. Another one of those nice looking Panasonics. I think this RX DX63 is a later model one, and everything works with a 3-month warranty. This looks great and comes with a remote for just about 54 bucks. Moving on to the non-junk decks, we see another nice Sony MDS-JE700. This one is priced higher than the last ones we saw though. These are great, older, SP-only decks, but that price is definitely on the high side. Here's a classy looking Kenwood DM9090. Made around the same time as that Sony JE700, this is another nice SP-only deck with a high price to match. Here's the junk compos. Maybe they shouldn't be selling this old Sharp that has mold on the speaker and heavy chassis damage. This sad little Kenwood won't power on. This Marantz seems to work mostly, but they commented about some strange noise, might need some cleaning or just some simple maintenance. Good looking unit with CD and MD. Moving on to junk boomboxes. Pretty easy to spot these Panasonic ones. They only tested the CD and it worked, though they didn't test the MD. At 550 yen, I won't get my hopes up on this old Sharp. Nope, can't play MDs. CD won't load on the Sony. They didn't test the MD either. Seems like it stops or power cuts out when playing MDs on this one. These glass accented Kenwoods look nice and have detachable speakers. Unfortunately, no luck with MD on this one. This Sony only outputs to one speaker, but maybe that's okay for about $8. It's a later model MDLP capable unit. MD and CD are working on this Victor, but I'm betting they didn't test both decks. Still, for $8, that's not bad. No luck with MDs on this old Panasonic. This good-looking Panasonic doesn't power on at all. No sound on this Pioneer, but there's no telling if that's just the CD, MD, or what. Here's an Iowa, post-Sony acquisition. No luck with MDs though. No luck with CD nor MD on this old Sharp. This old Iowa can't play MDs. No luck loading MDs on this Kenwood. Belt problem perhaps? Here's another late model Iowa. Looks nice. Unfortunately, it can't play CDs nor MDs either. These have a cool fold-out control panel with buttons and a jog wheel. I'll have to keep my eyes open for another one of these. And at the end of the row, a Sony HCD-SE7. I love the design of these. They've got a great sleek look and frosted glass panels to hide the mechanisms. To top it off, these are also net MD units. Unfortunately, the MD isn't working on this, and it may need a belt change. Would be worth it though. These units still look great today, and they're definitely on my list after I clear some space. I've still got 2 Project Sony Lam Z05s to get working. Okay, next stop. Hard off Chuo Rinkan at the end of the Dennen Toshi line. And here we go. Hard off Chuo Rinkan. A large Daiso and Conan home store in the same shopping center. Junk section spotted. Let's see what's in the junk cases. Skipping the guitar section. This audio case has IC recorders, CD Walkman. Ah, here's a MiniDisc player. But it's a Fuze. That 10-pack of Sony Neige discs aren't bad at 5,500 yen, but check out that original sticker price, 970 yen. Lots of cassettes too. Are these metal ones worth that much? This case was mostly gaming and game accessories, but there were some MDs. A Sharp MD-ST501 that's untested, and a Victor PX70 in blue that works. Both of them are good-looking units. And a few more here. Sony MZ-EH50, a cheap high MD portable that can play anything, along with an MZ-E707, both with no power, but could be an easy fix. Sony MZ-R50 in the back with no working controls, and a Sharp MD-MT821 that can't read. Nice to see some portables. 2 of those Sony ones would be worth a gamble. And one more down here, a Sony MZ-E90. This older SP-only Sony came in white, silver, and red, but this one doesn't power on. Still, it comes with a remote, so it might be worth a shot at $18. Moving on, boomboxes. This Sony ZS-M50 looks great, but unfortunately can't read MDs. It's in great shape and could be worth attempting a fix at about $8. Here's an older Kenwood, an MDX F3. Colorful, but at 550 yen, I'm guessing there's not much working. Ah, here's a better looking Kenwood, the MDX J3, also at 550 yen, so probably not working. I like how these look, especially with the color accents on the handle and buttons. These are nice models, but I seem to see quite a few non-working ones, so reliability may be an issue. No luck with MD on this old Iowa. No luck with MD on this Panasonic either, not to mention the missing knob. Here's another old Iowa. Unfortunately, no MD here either. Here's one of those Sony NAS models with a hard drive. Or it should have one. Apparently this one was removed and the display doesn't light up either. No mention of the MD on this old Pioneer, but the 3 CD tray doesn't open. This newer Victor actually works. Not bad for 15 bucks. It's a newer DVD model. This Kenwood RMD ES90 DVD looks great, but they didn't test the MD. This is a newer model that supports DVD, so there's a good chance it could be working. It's got the original speakers and surround speakers too. This Panasonic is mislabeled as an Iowa, but won't load MDs. Could be a belt problem. Almost missed this Kenwood. It says no sound came out when playing MD, so it might be worth troubleshooting. How about two giant Victor boomboxes? Neither of these RC MD70s work properly, but they look good. These featured 3 MD and 3 CD changers for some serious dubbing. These were large and supposedly had good speakers and a nice jog dial. Would love to find or fix one up. Nice large controls and a nice display. This is what it looked like when it was working. Today I learned I want to find a working Victor RC MD70. Skipping this CD Onkyo, there's an MD capable one in the back. These Sharp clones were actually fairly reliable and this one plays MDs. Let's get a better look. This one is basically the same as a Sharp SD CX8 or 80 and has been reliable. Not bad for 15 bucks. Let's just see what junk decks look like. A Tascam and Denon right away. Tascam was working but didn't power on after a successful test. No luck with MD on the Denon. Good looking decks. Each one of them has an old PS2 port for a keyboard, making titling easier. Here's an old Kenwood deck, probably SP only. Looks like MD works, but it's slow to read. May be acceptable for 12 bucks. I like the look of these Kenwood RK700s, but no luck with MD on this one. These are nice looking compact units if you can find a working one. This isn't MD related, but what a whopper of a Laserdisc player, or MLD, multi-Laserdisc player? Well, that wraps up the October and November trips. Sorry for the delay. Thank you again for helping me reach 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know what that means? Giveaway time. Stay tuned for more details. As always, thanks for watching.